We have always said it is about the children. It's not just about me. Never just made it about me. I'm just the loudest one.
Fire and the Palisades fire are still burning in Los Angeles as firefighters from across North America work desperately.
The air around Los Angeles was thick with tension, smoke, and unanswered questions. The wildfires that swept through the city had left a trail of destruction that seemed almost too precise, too calculated to be random. Amid the chaos of burning mansions, evacuations, and a stunned public, whispers of something darker began to take hold. What if these fires weren't just the result of natural conditions? What if they were part of a much larger, sinister plan? And what if someone had predicted it all? That's exactly what people are now saying about Allison Carter, the controversial figure whose cryptic warnings and explosive allegations are suddenly hitting way too close to home.
Incredible. And, it brings into context our whole system of innocent till proven guilty. Why is he not being given bond? And, we could debate that all day long. Of all people that's unlikely to flee or get away, well, he's got the resources to flee, but he's so recognizable. And isn't he innocent till proven guilty? Well, yeah, but, we have to recognize there are degrees of innocent till proven guilty.
Let's rewind for a moment. For years, Carter has been a polarizing figure, part whistleblower, part conspiracy theorist, depending on who you ask. But one thing is undeniable. Her claims have always managed to raise eyebrows. And now, with the wildfires raging across Los Angeles, those claims are becoming impossible to ignore. In a video uploaded just a few months ago, Carter warned that a major disaster was on the horizon, hinting at powerful forces orchestrating an event to destroy evidence and distract the public.
A lot's about to come out. Another arrest is coming again. Watch for those fires. Explosions make fires too. Explosions make accidental fires.
At the time, her words were dismissed as just more internet noise. But now, people are starting to wonder if she knew more than she let on. As the fires tore through neighborhoods like Pacific Palisades, Malibu, and Holmby Hills, the devastation was overwhelming. Homes belonging to some of Hollywood's most famous faces were reduced to ash and rubble. Paris Hilton's Malibu mansion, gone. Julia Louis-Dreyfus's Pacific Palisades home, destroyed. Even the iconic beach house Jeff Bridges inherited from his parents wasn't spared. Yet amid all this destruction, one property stood untouched. Sean Diddy Combs' sprawling estate in Holmby Hills. The same Diddy who has been at the center of a storm of legal battles and accusations involving allegations that have rocked the entertainment industry. Coincidence? Maybe, but for conspiracy theorists, this was just fuel for the fire.
Legitimate concern. No judge wants to wake up and read the headlines the next day. Oh, they treated this guy special and they gave him bond, and now he's gone and he fled from justice. So that's what's in the back of most judges' minds. On the other hand, we deal with cases where clients have significant funds sometimes, and sometimes where there's money, you can craft a unique solution. Years ago, it was the ankle bracelet and the ankle monitor.
What makes this story even more chilling is what firefighters reportedly found as they sifted through the wreckage. Hidden beneath some of the destroyed properties were entrances to underground tunnels that Carter had alluded to in her earlier claims. According to her, tunnels connected schools, museums, hospitals, and even celebrity homes. She described them as part of a shadowy network used for unspeakable activities. There are underground passages, under schools, under neighborhoods, she had said. They lead places wouldn't believe. Amusement parks, cemeteries, even the homes of some of your favorite stars. At the time, her statements were dismissed as outlandish, but now, with these tunnels coming to light, people are beginning to ask questions. The discoveries were as unsettling as they were shocking. Firefighters described finding makeshift rooms, strange equipment, and other items that raised more questions than answers. What were these tunnels used for? Who built them? And why were they hidden so carefully? Officials have been tight-lipped about the findings, but leaked reports from first responders suggest that these tunnels weren't just abandoned relics. They seem to have been in active use and not for anything innocent.
It happened, and then you look into it and you see that it's tied to something that's tied to something that's tied to something that's tied to trafficking, and then you realize, oh, it wasn't just an explosion or a fire. It wasn't an accident.
Adding to the intrigue is the fact that some of the locations affected by the fires line up almost perfectly with Carter's earlier warnings. Places like the Getty Center Museum, Palisades Charter High School, and even the Bunny Museum in Pasadena were all impacted. Could this be a coincidence? Maybe, but for those who have been following Carter's story, it feels more like confirmation of something they've long suspected, that there's a hidden world operating just beneath the surface, and these fires might have been designed to keep it hidden.
So I'm telling you right now, a lot of people don't want to get it. There's enough of you something, anything. And there's so many of you able to get loud.
And then there's the matter of the missing people. While the official demise toll from the fires has been climbing, reports are emerging about individuals who seem to have vanished without a trace. Carter's supporters are quick to point out that she had previously spoken about underground networks being used to hold individuals against their will. Could these disappearances be connected? Authorities have been hesitant to comment, but the lack of clear answers is only adding to the growing sense of unease. Of course, not everyone is convinced. Skeptics argue that the fires were nothing more than a natural disaster fueled by dry conditions and the infamous Santa Ana winds. They point out that wildfires are a recurring problem in California, and there's no need to look for a deeper explanation. But even among the doubters, there's an acknowledgement that the timing of these fires, coming just months before a high-profile trial involving some of Hollywood's biggest names, is more than a little suspicious.
Every jail is bad, and some jails are worse than others. And the problem, again, is if you move him, why is he getting special treatment? And maybe he's earned special treatment. Maybe what he's done, maybe he's given so much back to his fans and to the world and to charity that maybe there's a way that it plays out in the end. But again, to go into court and say this jail is bad, move him to another jail, is not your first argument. That's sort of the...
For Carter's supporters, however, the fires are just the latest chapter in a long and twisted saga. They believe that powerful figures are using every tool at their disposal to cover their tracks and silence anyone who gets too close to the truth. And they're not alone. Social media has been flooded with theories connecting the fires to everything from political corruption to secret societies. One particularly viral post even suggested that the fires were started intentionally to destroy evidence that could have been used in upcoming legal cases.
So Diddy, if you're just joining us here, was just arrested and taken into federal custody in New York tonight. Sources tell TMZ Homeland Security swooped into a Midtown hotel late Monday where Diddy was staying, and they arrested him.
The speculation doesn't stop there. People are now revisiting Carter's earlier claims about the entertainment industry and its alleged ties to underground networks. In one particularly chilling statement, she had said, "There are people in positions of power who will do anything to protect themselves. They think they're untouchable, and for a long time they have been. But now, things are starting to unravel. With the fires exposing hidden tunnels and destroying key locations, it's hard not to wonder if she was onto something all along."
They can't move in the general population. And would he be at risk? Sure, he'd be at risk. There's so many people that have nothing to lose, right? They're going to be in jail the rest of their life. They've got nothing to... They want their 15 minutes of fame. They were friends with Diddy, or they hurt Diddy, or they Diddy, or they did... I mean, there's so many, people in jail that this would be their moment. You can't put them there. Plus...
And then there's the question of why some homes were spared while others weren't. Diddy's mansion, for example, remains completely intact despite being just miles away from some of the worst hit areas. Critics argue that this is simply due to luck or the way the winds shifted during the fires. But for Carter's supporters, it's yet another piece of evidence that something isn't right. They point to the fact that Diddy has been under intense scrutiny in recent months, facing allegations and legal battles that could potentially bring down not just him, but a whole network of powerful individuals. Could his untouched mansion be a sign that he's being protected? Or is it just another strange coincidence in a story that's already overflowing with them?
But if there is one, can you read between the lines? There's a call from the prisons. Someone thinks that they have a green light on us that they don't even know what they're talking about.
As the dust begins to settle, one thing is clear. These fires have left far more questions than answers. What exactly was hidden beneath the homes that were destroyed? Why were some properties spared while others were targeted? And most importantly, who stands to benefit from all of this? These are the questions that everyone is now asking, and the answers could change.
And having somebody not to ask manly advice, and just things that you would ask your father. Also things that you would celebrate with him, that would make him proud, My father was a hustler.
The stage is set for the next chapter in this unfolding drama. With investigations still ongoing and public curiosity reaching a fever pitch, it feels like we're on the brink of a major revelation. And if Carter's predictions are anything to go by, the truth might be even more shocking than anyone could have imagined. But for now, all we can do is wait and watch as the pieces of this puzzle slowly start to come together. And with that, we move into the heart of the conspiracy, the allegations against Diddy, the delays in his arrest, and the high-profile names that might just be caught in the crossfire. Stay tuned, because this story is far from over. The tangled web surrounding Sean Diddy Combs and the controversies linked to him is only growing thicker. After the unsettling discoveries in the aftermath of the Los Angeles fires, attention has shifted to the man at the center of it all. Diddy, once revered as a music mogul and cultural icon, is now entangled in allegations that go far beyond the glitz and glamour of his public persona. These accusations, combined with the eerie timing of the fires and their potential connections to hidden evidence, have sparked a wildfire of their own, one of speculation, intrigue, and mounting questions.
This wind event is approaching us, and it's approaching us very, very quickly.
Elevated critical fire weather conditions will continue through Wednesday.
Let's start with the obvious. How did we get here? For years, Diddy was the epitome of success in the entertainment world. From his chart-topping hits to his billion-dollar business ventures, he built an empire that seemed untouchable. But behind the scenes, cracks in the foundation were forming. Rumors of questionable behavior, shady dealings, and a dark side to his larger-than-life persona began to surface. These whispers turned into full-blown allegations when he was arrested in September 2024 on charges that shocked the world. And those charges, they weren't just about financial misconduct or minor infractions. No, these were serious accusations that painted a much more sinister picture of the man once known as Puff Daddy.
He will be sued, and I say will be because nothing has been filed yet, by at least 120 people in the next 30 days.
But here's the kicker. Diddy's legal troubles didn't erupt in a vacuum. His arrest came after months, if not years, of mounting pressure and public scrutiny. And now, with the fires destroying key locations and evidence, people are asking, was this all part of a larger cover-up? Could the timing of the fires just months before his trial really be coincidental? Or is there a deliberate effort to erase the trails that could lead to even more damning revelations? To fully understand the scope of these questions, we need to dive deeper into the allegations against Diddy. These aren't just isolated incidents, but part of a pattern of behavior that, according to his critics, spans decades. One of the most high-profile accusations came from Cassie Ventura, Diddy's former partner, who filed a lawsuit in 2023 under the New York Adult Survivors Act. Her claims painted a disturbing picture of her time with him, alleging years of manipulation, coercion, and abuse. While the lawsuit was quickly settled, it marked the beginning of a flood of similar allegations from others who claimed to have been wronged by Diddy.
At the end of the day, just to tell the truth, so hopefully we can get down to the bottom of this. I'm 100%, the charges against me are 100% false, and hopefully due to time, we'll start to see that.
And it didn't stop there. Over the past year, more than 30 lawsuits have been filed against him, each one adding another layer to the already overwhelming case against him. These lawsuits span decades, with some accusers describing incidents from as far back as the 1990s. Among the most shocking claims are those involving underground parties, secret networks, and alleged connections to some of the most powerful figures in Hollywood. These accusations have turned Diddy's once glamorous reputation into a symbol of something much darker.
In her civil lawsuit, Cassie said that she was the victim of abuse, assault, and at the hands of Diddy.
The delay in his arrest has only added fuel to the fire. Many are wondering why it took so long for authorities to act, especially given the severity of the allegations. Some believe that Diddy's wealth and influence allowed him to evade justice for years, with powerful allies protecting him from scrutiny. Others point to the possibility of behind-the-scenes negotiations and deals that kept him out of the spotlight until the evidence became too overwhelming to ignore. Whatever the reason, his arrest marked a turning point, not just for him, but for the entire entertainment industry. But here's where things get even more interesting. Diddy's arrest didn't just implicate him, it sent shockwaves through Hollywood, raising questions about who else might be involved. Over the years, Diddy has been linked to some of the biggest names in the industry, from fellow musicians to A-list actors and influential executives. While no one else has been formally charged, the sheer number of connections and rumors has led to rampant speculation about how deep this rabbit hole goes.
Not do this alone. Do you foresee that there could be other charges related to this case?
I'm not taking anything off the table.
No one wants him mentioned.
Take, for example, the allegations involving underground tunnels and secret gatherings. According to insiders, these tunnels weren't just a convenient way to avoid paparazzi. They were part of a carefully orchestrated network that connected some of Los Angeles' most exclusive properties. Rumors suggest that these gatherings often included not just Hollywood elites, but also influential figures from politics and business. While it's impossible to confirm these claims, the mere idea of such a network has captured the public's imagination and added another layer of intrigue to an already complex story. And then there are the celebrities whose names keep popping up in connection to Diddy's case. While no one has been officially implicated, the list of names being whispered in online forums and social media posts is staggering. Some of these individuals are household names, people who have built their careers on being seen as role models and philanthropists. If even a fraction of these rumors are true, the fallout could be catastrophic, not just for Diddy, but for the entire entertainment industry.
Did in fact occur, their argument is more than likely going to be that this activity was consensual, that this person was a willing participant, and not only that, but that these individuals assumed the risk of being present at those parties, of engaging and voluntarily engaging in this conduct and being in those spaces, consuming alcohol and things of that nature.
One name that keeps coming up is Kathy Griffin, whose home was reportedly damaged in the fires. While there's no evidence linking her to Diddy's alleged activities, her inclusion in the list of affected properties has raised eyebrows. Could it be a coincidence, or is there more to the story? And what about the other celebrities whose homes were destroyed? While most have been quick to express their heartbreak and gratitude for their safety, the timing and scope of the fires have left many wondering if these properties were targeted for a reason. Adding to the intrigue is the fact that some of the affected properties were reportedly under investigation before the fires. According to leaked reports, several of these locations were being looked at as potential sites for hidden evidence related to Diddy's case. If that's true, the fires could have been a deliberate attempt to destroy that evidence and protect those involved. It's a theory that, while unproven, has gained significant traction online, with many pointing to the lack of clear answers from authorities as further proof of a cover-up.
Now, to the latest on the arrest of Sean Diddy Combs. This one has so many people talking. The disgraced music mogul facing federal racketeering, conspiracy, and trafficking charges. Both the prosecution and defense teams are set to discuss the next phase of action following the indictment, as investigators work to determine potential co-conspirators. But how exactly did we get here?
But here's the question no one seems to be able to answer. Why now? Why, after years of rumors and allegations, is all of this coming to a head at this particular moment? Some believe it's because the walls are finally closing in on Diddy and those who have protected him. Others think it's part of a larger effort to distract the public from even bigger scandals. And then there are those who see the fires as a wake-up call, a sign that the truth is finally starting to come to light. Whatever the case may be, one thing is clear: this story is far from over. The fires may have destroyed physical evidence, but they've also ignited a firestorm of public interest and scrutiny. And with Diddy's trial set to begin in May, the stakes couldn't be higher. Will the truth finally come out? Or will this be just another chapter in a long history of scandal and cover-ups?
This is very significant, just from who we associate Diddy being and everything we've seen him do over the decades. Like you said, this is quite the downfall to go from, we saw the mansions back in March that were raided by the feds. So to go from living in those mansions to being in a jail cell right now, I think it really underscores the magnitude of what he's facing and the weight of the federal government.
As the smoke clears and the ashes settle, the questions surrounding the Los Angeles wildfires and their potential connections to Sean Diddy Combs and Allison Carter's predictions remain as burning as ever. Could the timing of these fires truly be a coincidence, or is there a sinister plot at play? And why were certain properties spared while others were reduced to rubble? The answers to these questions could shake the very foundations of Hollywood and beyond. What do you think? Is there more to these fires than meets the eye? And who might be pulling the strings behind the scenes? Share your thoughts and theories in the comments below. Until next time, stay curious and keep questioning. Goodbye for now.